Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is the first map of 3 in this best of 3 elimination lower bracket semifinal between EG and PA, Party Astronauts and Evil Geniuses. I'm Pineapple Phillips, joined by Boggs, and EG on their opponent's map pick will elect to start on the defense. A pair of dualies, one of them just got dropped, okay, to Wiz and Walco. No kit present, but a lot of pistols ready to defend and prevent a bomb plant. Party Astronauts, what's the call? Looks like a stack in towards lobby. This could get ugly quickly. Pono racing in, drops the dually player up front. A second for Ben Lee, but one has slipped the gap in towards lobby. That's Wiz with the dualies finding one. And now coming in towards Hut, he could be a menace. Cxzi though, drops Junior. It's just automatic and Wiz to try and pick up the pieces. They're both close at hand. One in Hut, I believe one towards the vents slash also squeaky door. That is automatic, but Cxzi in the meanwhile has felled Wiz, leaving just the veteran, just automatic back lobby to try and save his Kevlar for the following. A 1 versus 4 is simply not possible given the current situation.
Yep, save the armor, get a MP9 in utility, or maybe a FAMAS, not with that loss bonus, but an MP9 util is not going to be too bad in a round 2 force. But EG don't normally like to buy the kits on pistols. They'll go for double dual Berettas. It doesn't even matter because Cxzi grabs 3. He was the one to take out the Heaven player too, so they were able to full focus on lobby and towards Hut. He also got the Hut player. So great work from Danny individually, and good entries from Polo and Benley to even create the space on the site. EG had the fast rotations, but they weren't able to get the shots to counter the push. And Party Astronauts on the fast victory on round number 1 of their map pick. Starting on that T side, counter 4s here from EG is a Scout Glass Cannon for Junior, double Deagles, an MP9 for automatic because of that save, and George with, actually, automatic. He didn't save, so he still goes in with the MP9. That's a very curious call.
Fine up. MP9, I think the helmet was 350.
Well, he didn't have armor.
He did for some reason.
He must have gotten a kill. Or 2.
Must have. A slow one from PA. They know that EG love to force rounds like this. They want to wait, hold for any aggression, and then go from there. Ramp is the right read. No one's here. They're instead towards secret. PA get control for free. Automatic will rotate around towards control room. But what can he do at this range with an MP9? After trying to just wait for a swing instead, EG, the bulk of the squad is rotating around. 3 down below now. 2 towards control, 1 towards decon door, and Walco with a deagle. Can be deadly at this range. Smoke down, guys the crossing from control. The spam from Ben Leet. He must have spotted the head of George. That's the first secured. Walco trying to challenge, can't drop the bomb planter. He's hoping that someone will cross into his crosshair instead. A lot of this hinges on automatic. What can he do in control? Swinging out, he's beheaded by Cxzi. Wiz next at bat with a deagle, fares no better. The AK also does a mini Walco. Parting gift, but chop on the lurk in towards vents. Makes that a short-lived victory. The last alive is Junior. Scout no armor. He's towards secret. He's also holding for an exit, but he's definitely not going to be given one for free. He has to be very quick and very careful not to lose this weapon so that he can bring it into the following.
He's going to have to fight his way out. Misses that first engagement. Able to slip by as the bullets do not connect with him. He'll lose half his HP as Wiz will jump around the corner in just a nick of time. Mow him down. Takes a leg shot. We do have a disconnect from Party Astronauts as well. So there is a technical timeout here as we wait for, I believe it's Pone to rejoin the server. Yes, it is. But Cxzi, he's starting this one off incredibly crispy, Nate. And that's a great sign for Party Astronauts, as when Danny's online, he is one of the best raw riflers in the region. Right now,
a veteran at this point in North America.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, a very momentum-based player. When he gets fiery hot, he does not cool down easily. So EG needs to respect that because Cxzi is already activated.
Yep, he's already feeling it. 3 headshots on the pistol round, 2 with the AK on second round force. EG gonna have nothing in this next one except for a deagle and automatic. So we await Ponolone's eventual return to the server. There he is. He's back. So it shouldn't be too much longer before we can ready this one up and get going again. But so far, about the ideal start for Party Astronauts, unless they somehow lose to the USPs and the Solo Deagle. 3-0 start on T's side. Doesn't get much better than that. The only way it gets better is if you get 4 or 5, because you do have that cancel out of the gun round, the reset following. That's the only way it gets better on a T-side start.
Yep, they won the second round anti-force as well cleanly. Only losing 1 player, that's a pretty big deal. They can keep this round clean as well, then they are well on their way to a solid T-side bank, and that can be very hard to break. As you mentioned, a couple Deagles invested into the round on automatic and Wiz. He's running his route outside as our team. Spam through the wall. They must know. They have to know.
They must have seen a pistol or something.
Pistol, a shadow, a crossing. They must have seen something because they were focused, laser focused on that spam. Viz finds a second. The Deagles are still up, though. They can still rot some pain. They're out in the yard, though, holding the cross. Unfortunately for them, the crossings have already taken place for the most part. The last one here is Cxzi. He can just hold around, wait for rotations, and go from there. He doesn't have to cross. We'll just bide his time. There's the Deagle. Shots from both parties miss. Now Cxzi needs to be careful. There's a lot of pistols at range that could find a lucky headshot. He does get 1. He gets 2. Okay. Last one's a USP, and the USP is doing nothing. Cxzi forces all of my worries away. And Party Astronauts off to that clean 3-0 start that does miracles for their economy. Look at how much money they have in the bank. They're going to keep these weapons as a bonus round, and everybody's at 4K or above in the coffers.
It's pretty ludicrous. And Cxzi, no worry in the world. Sprays down the first, continues it onto automatic, and finally onto Junior in the end. Junior has got in for the op, though, so there will be the big green gun for the CTs in this one. And Junior can be a very effective opper, and if he patrols outside adequately, can be a difference maker and force Party Astronauts to funnel inner or even through ramp towards B. Chop's going to work outside, though. Cxzi, Viz, and Ben in towards lobby, phone alone. Be throwing some utility out as well. Chop's moving in. There's trades back and forth. Cxzi will get automatic, and Wiz as well. That's his 4th multi-kill round in a row to kick off this map. He'll finally fall. It's a backstab from Walco. Junior dropping down has made noise. They do know where he's coming from now. Low HP will not matter. The op shot tries to go shotgun. Pone alone will say thank you for my favorite gun. And that's a 4-0 start. It's a half-buy situation for EG now. And this is about as ideal as it gets for the Party Astronauts now on the team side of their map pick. And Walco, he tries so hard. It's pretty much nowhere. Just 1 kill and a dink. Wasn't enough to do anything really worthwhile in the round. And it's dual Berettas, 5.7s, Deagles. It's sad for EG right now.
Yeah, it already feels kind of desperate. You know how CT sided this map can be. And the fact that they have next to nothing to show for it, the closest round they had was that rifle round. And even then, they only got it to a 1v2, so they really have not gotten close at all to actually converting one of these rounds, EG. Pressure's beginning to mount a bit. I would say a timeout going into the next rifle round is important. Would be well used. Party Astronauts, though. Mentioned it, Cxzi. I'm going to say it again. He's at 10 now. 10-1. That was his first death in the game. He has more kills than the entire... Actually, he has the same amount of kills as his team combined.
Yep.
And more than the entirety of his opponents combined.
He almost has as much as double of EG.
Yeah, they have 6 total right now.
Yeah, he's got 10.
He can find 2 in this round, and if it's clean for his team, he has double their kills.
And that's the thing, too. He's got 4 multi-kills in a row. It's not like he has one round where he just got 1. No, he's got at least 2 every single round.
Monster. Walco, I like this walk up. Might have been spotted by Decon, not certain. He has a lot of angles to worry about, but he did surprise the right player.
What?
Player with the op. He finds a second as well before finally going down, but that's a lot of damage. This could open the round for the pistols. It could make it a possibility. Viz and Cxzi, though, combining fire on that swing, find 3. And what could have been an opening for EG is swiftly shut in their face. Automatic, the last alive. He was holding it outside yard, hoping to catch a late rotation, but no such plays coming through. He's holding on to the Deagle and the Kevlar. You probably should try to hold on to those as well. They could be useful in the following. But a 5-0 start for Party Astronauts, and again, a solid economy behind them.
A very solid economy behind them, and it's only going to keep getting better and better if they can keep 3+ alive every single round. Plus, the bomb plan always bolsters those T-buys. Automatic is still meandering around the map looking for an exit from the looks of things, and he may be given one fight against Cxzi as he's the one to lead the charge up. He's looking for another multi. He hears Automatic running into garage. They're not going to hunt it, though, which I think is a good thing. They don't want to give an AK over to the CT side. And there's no reason to really hunt the pistol either. It's a classic where you'll see teams just run down pistol, lose, give the free rifle over, and your ROI is negative at that point. And even then, it's not really worth even losing one of your members with a gun to go grab that pistol. That does nothing for you. So, Party Astronauts content to take 5, content to let Automatic live with whatever he thinks his life is worth in the round. Junior's back on the op, so is Pone alone. Full buy up from both sides. This half can very quickly get out of control. Party Astronauts can sneak away with another round victory here. Chop has got caught by an aggressive peek from Junior, though. That's the first time in this game EG have had a man advantage.
Comes off the back of that op as well. Junior getting activated. Ben lead 1-for-1. Wiz doubling down, almost tripling down from Mustang. Cxzi trades, but advantage secured. The op swap is in effect as well. Ponalone giving that to the low HP Cxzi. We have seen him as a primary opper in past, but can he challenge the likes of Junior now that he's alone? That's the question. Junior is feeling it thus far. Double swing. The op is dropped, but Walco is quick with the trade. 3 kills, but not enough. EG are finally on the board. A round secured. The first is always the hardest. The op is recovered, but 3 players dropped means the economy of EG is still in a hard spot. They're going to have to compromise here with the buy for Wiz, and they're going to have no money left in the bank either should they lose round number 7.
And there's still some leftover money for Party Astronauts, too. They're still in buy territory, even if they lose this next round, which, considering that round was a hero play from Wiz up top on Mustang, you can't really rely on that. Moving forward, Junior's going to burn down to a very nice amount of health for the memes part, not for him. Chop's already down secret too, and I don't think they have any info on that. Viz is going to fight Walco out towards ramp, but Walco's been in some fine form for EG these last 3 nights. He's been fantastic individually. I do like this double up push into lobby as well from EG. The op and the rifle going in through Squeaky. Walco, of course, wins that fight. Figured he would. He's just been too good. This shot from Junior, though, he's caught by Chop. And now Walco might be next in line. Former IGL of Chop. Back on the RBG roster and on EG Black when that was the thing. Walco! Headshot, messy spray, but it works. Ponalone sidearm out, swings out wide. Tech 9 wins the first. Ponalone not clearing out towards control, though. Shut down by George, who's made his presence known. Nade goes in on his position. Does about half damage, 40 HP to be exact. Chop opens the door. Spots out. Oh my gosh, he's got a smoke and he peeks and holds it. He should just jiggle there, and Ben will actually bring this back to a winnable 1v1. A good bit of work from the in-game leader of the Party Astronauts here. He's trying to clutch up. He does so! Headshot onto Wiz, and he only had about 3 rounds of ammunition in the mag. He had to make it count, and boy did he. Tosses the op back to his longtime partner in Ponalone, but Ben Leet comes up big with the 3-piece.
Chop was focused on taking the duel towards control. That was the main goal at that point, get it back to even footing. Smoke off the right, go towards the left. The issue was the player on the right towards the vents was already on the stairs and waiting. It was a kill offered up on a silver platter. Luckily, they are bailed out by a big 1 versus 3 coming out of Ben. Of course, that op being recovered helps out Ponalone immensely. EG scrounge together what they can. It's better than I would have expected. 2 M4s, a FAMAS, a pair of MP9s, but there's no kit and utility is lacking. And these weapons against the likes of a full AK and op buy does not bode well for the likes of EG going in round number 8. Party Astronauts might cinch a guaranteed advantage going into the second half with a victory here.
There's the win against Walco by Viz. This time he gets his revenge. Cxzi has actually Nate, that last round was the first he hadn't gotten a kill. And exchanges go back and forth. This time he also misses out on that opportunity. Loses to the double spray down from Hunt. Chops coming in, should have George on the plate. Bit messy, but he gets the job done. Pone alone with 2, looking for the last. The bomb's at the feet of Automatic. They have to know where he is. So Chop and Pone alone are going to group up here, go for Automatic, who plays around that smoke, creeping into the angle here. Pone alone shows his leg on the crouch peak. Automatic grabs an HE, tosses that one in. Chop will not get damaged by it. He's got an okay amount of time, but he's got to hurry. Grab some more utility. Not going to look for the boxes. He expected Automatic to move. That's a well-played 4K from Automatic there. Very intelligent in how he played that 1v situation. Looks like Party Astronauts are getting a bit hasty in their moves.
A bit aggressive, trying to change the pace, perhaps. In respect to the call on the T side, keep things fluid, keep things unpredictable, but in this case it doesn't work out. It was a smart call from EG to stack the ramp. 2 players there and a third in quick rotation to shut down whatever they were trying to put on the table. EG still not out of the woodworks, but neither are Party Astronauts. Their economy has been humbled in a big way. It's MP9s, 3 of them with an op and an M4 for EG. Party Astronauts, their buys also cobbled together 2 AKs, a Galil, and a pair of pistols, a Tech 9 and a Deagle. Utility, not the best, but also not the worst for both teams. But the lack of mollies could definitely hurt EG once a take comes through.
And Chop's already slipped the gap through Secret, too. He's been able to get that map control very consistently here. EG doing nothing to stop the outside run. Triple MP9s now. The buy consistently getting worse for EG, which is never a good sign. Of course, it is deteriorating for Party Astronauts as well, but Chop on a Tech 9, Fizz on a Deagle, they can still do some serious damage, as can those MP9s on the CT side. They do have 1 kit at least for EG in the hands of Junior. I guess I should say on the belt of Junior. A very slow round now from PA as they are learning their lessons from the last round. Taking it slow. George burns and makes some noise. Ponelone's trying to vent, dive with the bomb out, but they're not ready for that at all. They'll try and trade George, and instead he's going to find 2. Walco got those? George didn't get a single kill out of that. Walco mopped it up.
Walco and Wiz. Last one alive is Chop. That player down the vents. We praise him for getting this control, but when his team can't group up with him, he's just stuck on an island. 19 seconds left. He's have to go up the vents. They're all holding the bomb, though. Walco didn't spot him. Walco.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
He still has no idea.
Yeah. What's his resolution?
Not
Not enough, evidently.
Not 920, like 1080, 860 or something like that.
I was gonna say, it doesn't really matter what it is. All we know is that it's not enough.
No, it's got to be tiny, because even on 1650, or yeah, 1650.
Let's see it.
1050. 1650.
Either way, not enough to get around, just a kill. Which is something, I suppose, but 4 players staying alive for EG means that they're going to have a solid investment going forward, at least. 3-6, though. The best case scenario for this CT side is a tied ball game. Isn't the greatest outcome for a defense on Nuke. Party Astronauts fully forced into a save now. Glocks across the board. EG, full rifles and that op in effect. There should be a 4th on the board for EG. Question is, can Party Astronauts get anything out of this round? I would say a kill, or maybe if they really play their cards right, a bomb plant is the best case scenario.
A bomb plant would be phenomenal. Pone alone's up on Marshmallow. Probably not going to win any ranged fight with the Glock at this position. Pretty sure it would even take 3, if not 4, dinks to even get a kill from up here. But he's at least going to get some information, get spotted, and be dealt with by Automatic. Very slow round from PA. I think they're looking for a push from the CTs, which EG are very disciplined. They don't often give that up in a 5v5 or even a 5v4 situation. Automatic's going to farm at range. How many more will he end up with? Nice little peek over towards Marshmallow to clear his bases. He'll grab a 3rd here. Looks for the 4th. Cxzi slipped into Mini, but he's locked out by either Automatic or George. Someone was going to get that frag. And Viz in the vents might actually just get blessed with a kill. Not quite one. George will say no more. Wiz is lucky to get out of that one alive, but that's the 4th on the board for EG. Buy up regardless of the bomb plan for Party Astronauts. And if they can get a 7th out of this half, even better. 8 would be disgusting. With a 6-round T-side, very solid on Nuke, as you said, Nate. And it's not looking pretty for EG here, unless they have something special planned once they move to the offense.
It's not looking pretty, but hey, at least they've woken up. It was a very difficult start. There's something to show for this map, at least. 5 for Party Astronaut, still not the best. Ben Leet on a Galil. AK surrounding. Utility leaves me wanting more. Again, Chop going to get the cross. The question is, can his team actually group up with him, or can he group up top? Junior is going to actually challenge this time around. He has the op in towards Secret. Chop going to walk into the angle, perhaps. Swinging in. That's a free one for Junior. A good start again for EG. The op, the spear point for this one. Cxzi outside. Uses his teammate. A little inch forward regardless. There are a flurry of players surrounding. One in towards the lockers, one in towards spawn. Cxzi, a target-rich environment. We take first. Walco is the answer. Not a clean spray, but it gets the job done. A second up top, though, is not meant to be. Automatic takes damage, but wins the duel and maintains that 2-man lead. Viz and Ponal on the last ones. Viz in towards the lobby is spotted. This is the shot. Ponal trying to avenge Cxzi, but his killer's very far gone at this stage, all the way almost in towards trophy room, if I'm not mistaken. A 5th seems almost guaranteed at this point for the EG defense.
Podalone's positioning can win the round or lose the round. Does not have a lot of time to operate with, and Wiz is on the angle in heaven, well positioned for the Mustang play. Will Podalone peek him? He will, and he'll win that fight. That's big from the Opper. Viz moving in. There's a player back silo. Time is running out. Podalone deals with the next. Viz has to get on site and get the bomb down. He's running in, covered from heaven by the Guardian Angel of Podalone. Nade will do a tad bit of damage, a flash for Viz to peek off of. He will just jiggle out towards Hut. They know where Ponalone is. They have to know where Viz is as well. Off from Junior strikes. Viz with one on automatic, though, peeking out. Junior, good nade. He's onto the sidearm. Not trying to shotgun off this. This now goes back to the op. Junior, Viz holding the angles, playing chicken. Spots the creep. Hits the headshot. Off to be recovered for Ponalone. He gives a little bit of a tactical spray at the end of it all. And Viz the hero this time for Party Astronauts as they grab a 7th. But Ponalone's double from heaven is what even builds a foundation for this 2v4 to work. And without those 2 kills, it's not even possible for Viz to have this set up. His first kill, and then the second onto the player back silo that allow Viz to have this opportunity, and he delivers off of his teammates' hard work.
Massive 2v4 to win, to bring the momentum back in favor of Party Astronauts. They could have been content with 6, but 7 or even 8 seems like a far better situation, all things considered. Junior again trying to be the spearhead, this time outside in the yard. He's back red. There's a player top Marshmallow challenging. There's players outside down below challenging. But Junior should win the first one. No, he overcorrects. He's caught. Cxzi capitalizes, finding a second. And it looks like EG might just crumble here in the final round of this first half. Player back towards credit card as Walco. The IGL burning alive. Stuck between 2. He's caught by Cxzi. The last 2, George and Wiz, a gamble press in towards lobby. But Viz is here and waiting with open arms. Viz posted, looks for one, finds the first. George the second, fares no better. Viz puts him to bed. An 8-4 scoreline for Party Astronauts. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Party Astronauts rocketing out to an 8-4 lead on the T side of Nuke to try to close out their map pick now on the defensive. It's Boggs and Pineapple Phillips with you this evening on the mic. Chop and company holding down the fort. No kits, much mirroring the buy from EG in the opening pistol round for the CTs. Double mollies, double flashes, one smoke. Or evil geniuses, no raid boss, no P250. Chop does spot one through the door, though, has a Molotov explode in his face. Viz up close and personal and Hunt, spamming away with the dual Berettas, looking like me trying to use those. He goes down, as does Chop. Ben is dinged, no response yet. Ponalone's P2000 trying to find an answer, but no answer forthcoming for the Party Astronauts as Automatic rings his bell. Ben Leet and Cxzi, 2v5. No bomb plant yet. And George has fallen. Junior crossing over. They know where Cxzi is now. Walco, domed by the very same Ben. As he opens up that orange door, Ben will know it's a front silo plant or something towards Hut. Cxzi has his third. Automatic has me in a rotation over towards the outside. Cxzi will tap it, fading out the peak. Spots at the first. Wiz with that dome. All up to Ben now, 7 HP. There's nothing he can really do here. He's stuck on the rafters. Time is running out with no kit. And it should be a fifth and a critical pistol round victory for EG here. As time is too far gone, as is his health. There's a critical pistol round coming forth from EG.
Required pistol round, I dare say. Given the nature of this map, it's typically CT-sided. Party Astronauts already having an 8-4 start on the T side. So they need to find a way to come back into it. A win there is big. A second round win even more consequential as well, given the fact that Party Astronauts are investing. Scout for Ponalone, MP9 from Moss, and Lead on a P250 and Viz on a 5.7. This is a potent buy, but EG, their buy is more so. 4 Galils and a Mac 10 to harvest a bit of cash. Those Galils are going to be very scary at range.
Always scary at range. And there's an up-close one that's not so different from that very scary at-range feeling, Nate. Nice little headshot there. Deals with the main threat of the Party Astronauts. Ben will try and recover that fallen gun, but it's already in the hands of George.
Interesting hold. Wiz all the way back in T-spawn. I think his team make the moves instead. Walco's gonna jump up heaven. No one's there. While 3/5 of the squad is down below towards Secret. Viz got up top of lobby. Isn't it caught? Yep. Wiz drops Viz. That player in T-spawn springs the trap. Ben, Elite, Chop, and Ponalone, unless they can find something big soon, they should probably save their weapons for the following. There shouldn't really be a chance for them in this round. Maybe group up and take that player away in towards T-spawn, but Ben Leet's now stuck on site. EG making the right move, going up towards Vents, clearing towards Chop, but Chop takes 2. Walco finally unseats Ponalone. Automatic drops Ben Leet. Chop, though, has the bomb at his feet at the very least, spamming away. It's not clean. He's trying to fight Wiz, trying to take the one-on-one duel, but it's not being given. He finds one in Vents. A second, maybe no. The lack of ammo does him in. Wiz swinging towards Squeaky finds it, and even if he didn't, Walco most certainly would have on the A site proper. 6-8 EG convert their pistol round victory. They should find a 7th off the back of this second round victory.
This is going to bring us to a nigh-tie scoreline, which is exactly what EG need to get back into this game. Party Astronauts will get a full buy up in the next round, and Chop should be able to drop an op over to Ponalone, which he should make good use of on the CT side. Far easier to use it on the defense. Outside stack from the CTs. 4 players up there, and I think Chop's in heaven too, so technically all 5 in the same vicinity. A Molotov will be used on Chop's position as the players are ready to bust in through that smoke. Flashes in, they're running through. They do manage 1 of 2. Make it as almost a second as Automatic gets dinged and finally dropped by Chop. He makes his presence known. He falls in the end, but you know, 2 kills ain't too shabby considering the lack of a buy from the Party Astronauts. Now they'll go all in on the investment here. Ponalone should drop an M4 over to Chop. That is exactly the case. The op is there on the ground for Ponalone. And there's plenty of utility for the CT side as well. not quite do or die, make or break time for EG just yet, especially as they can get a lead with a win here. And on the ensuing forced buy, or half buy rather, from Party Astronauts, should they suffer a loss in this round. The op is out. The bonus has to be on for EG. There's 2 players without helmets, so those Galils can do some damage. Already the fast ramp control, getting something in terms of map room for EG. Pone alone behind the flames, keeping an eye on the cross. But it's a precarious spot for the CT side right now as Party Astronauts wait to see what EG's final end goal is. Lots of time on the clock to waffle about and to put themselves in trouble.
Lots of time. Well, finally regressing ramp. They're clearing it out. 2 from below. Wiz posted on a very esoteric angle. Finds the first, but Ben Lead is quick to trade. EG, though, have swapped gears entirely. Towards the outside yard they had gone. Still a minute left. They're actually doubling back. Perhaps to regress ramp. Perhaps to go towards squeaky door. And still plenty of time to make their choice. Automatic and Junior. Both, at this point, looking towards trophy. Chop. Has support on site from Heaven and from a player right behind him. That play on A was a ruse. Automatic. Clearing ramp. It's free. It's open. Ben Leet is at least on B site to try and prevent a take from coming through.
And spots the head. Messy spray. Tries to go for the second. Cannot get it. 3v3 as the bomb can get planted here on the wide open B site in the nick of time. Recovered off the scaffolding by Automatic, who drops on down. Dorge catches Viz on his vent dive. Bomb will go down with about 2 seconds to spare. Pone alone has a very difficult mode to get down to the B site, and I think this might just be a save from the Party Astronauts here. They don't seem too content to go for it, and given the lack of ease for Pone alone's rotation, George dealing with the first man down the vents, it's probably not a bad call. EG are going to tie things up here. This is a great turnaround for them on the T side of Nuke. The only thing is, he will have to deal with an op and an M4 in the next round, but I'm almost thinking, Nate, you throw that op on ramp and let it sing.
Yeah, let it cook. EG are keen on hunting it down. They know that these weapons are being saved for a reason. Flash in, Pone alone forced away. Flash in return from Chop and his teammate. Walco will not get an exit. Well played from PA to hold on to both those weapons. But we're in timeout territory, I dare say. PA need to talk things out, discuss things, maybe find a new vision, find some sort of adjustment to make. And there we go. Timeout used. They can almost get an investment. I say go for it, honestly. Ben Leak can buy an A1S and armor with some utility, a little bit. Cxzi and Viz can buy up utility and Kevlar and get dropped weapons by both Chop and Pone alone. And from there, a pretty solid investment, all things considered. So Party Astronauts should try on this one. What's the call, though? Put the op ramp like you suggested. Maybe op peek in towards the lobby from the squeaky door, holding in mini. Maybe an aggressive outside play. We saw that from Junior when things got tough on the CT side for EG. There's a lot of options for the op on a map like Nuke.
Quite a bit of options for the op on Nuke, but I feel like ramp's being exploited right now, and the op can definitely be a good way to plug that hole. MP9's on 2. 5-7 for Viz. It's a bit of a half-buy investment here, but the thing is, with the op and the M4, the 2 MP9s, it's not a bad one at all. It's quite a strong buy, all things considered, for Party Astronauts when you look at how much they've invested. The op goes back outside, smoke walls down. Cxzi finished off on his aggression, but traded by Ben. It's an AK upgrade for the in-game leader of Party Astronauts. Pone alone still holding outside, spots one crossing garage. That's huge information. George is going that direction as well, but it's going to be missed. But still, he spots Automatic shoulder, removes it from the server, and he's going to go back for more. Gap in the smoke now, cross from Junior, but he's on the angle. Good pick from Junior to bring this back to a 3v3. Viz thinks better of going all the way through. The bomb drops for Chop, and George has crept all the way through. Ben's not ready for it, blindsided, but Chop is there to back him up. At least deals with Junior, putting George into a 1v2. Molotov flushes him out of mini, in towards the open, but he still wins the fight, retreating up to be recovered for his opper, and the M4 in the hands of Viz swapped out to an AK. So the upgrade is there, and Party Astronauts retain their lead, albeit tenuous at this point. Another investment for EG will be here, but Junior might be relegated to something a little less than the op or even an AK. Tech 9 it is for him. AKs for the rest, although Viz might opt for Galil, and he will. Phone alone inside this round, perhaps? To the ramp, yes indeed. And he's making an adaptation. Not happy with how things are going outside.
It's fair. Change things up. They're playing back Unbreakable. Back Vent is the call for Parla. Respect this one, holding towards the door. Utility coming through. Have to smoke off the Molotov. And in the meanwhile, George has made control in towards Mini. George and Walco finding one apiece. Cxzi offering some resistance, but traded out. Chop as well being traded. The advantage for EG as they take the site, and that player in the smoke is expected. Pone alone, found all alone back behind the fence. He's just been leaked to try and pick up the pieces, and, well, he will stumble. Walco peeks in towards Squeaky, finds the kill, and ties things right back up at 9 apiece. And the economy party astronauts, can it facilitate a solid investment? It can facilitate an investment. They will go for it. Ben and Chop might struggle a little bit for utility and maybe even weapons. Ben probably on an MP9. There it is. But they do have the op for Ponalone, and they do have a majority rifle buy for the remaining crew.
Majority rifles. An okay amount of utility. 2 kids. Ponalone going back inside, burning this time as they molly off Mini. Seeming to have a card counter to whatever he wants to do wherever he goes, except for Ramp. He hasn't really gone there yet. I still think he probably should, given EG's desire to head that direction. I'm sure that Viathan will have something to say once this game is over with. But I almost feel like PA could use another timeout, whether or not they win this round. If they win it, still call a timeout. If they lose it, call a timeout. Come up with something cheeky for the half buy. The loss bonus is in a weird spot. The overall economy is in an odd position, but Cxzi has a big one. That's Walco gone. And Wiz has been sitting here in T-spawn with a smoke prepped for the last minute. Cxzi traded out by Junior, a bit delayed. Now down through B, at least George has slipped through. Ben's on the scaffolding. Ponalone's making his way down the ramp. Time is running out for EG, but they need that fight one, and they get it from Wiz. Chop cut down by his former teammate. Ponalone now, expecting him. 3 players in the tunnels. 22 on the clock. They've got to move. They have to go. Ben can ruin their day with 1 kill. Junior's going, or rather, Viz is going up. Junior's got him. Ponalone might jump through the vents as well. No, he's going to go the safe route. They know where Viz is in heaven. George is on the Ang. 3v3. So much rests on the Zop flank. He's watched for, and the crouch will not avail Wiz, rather. Viz, he can still do damage too. George misses the flash.
He does up the vents, comes the MP9. It will combine with the op. They'll peek it. Automatic one from back vents. George a second in towards heaven. They know where the op is as well. Ponalone fires a shot, tries to grab the rifle, instead swaps to the pistol. It's only good for 1. George scales to support his teammate. Good trade from him. And the op is recovered as well for EG as they again snag a lead 10-9. Again, tenuous, but they break that CT economy. Money all over the place. Maybe pistols and Kevlar should be the call. Kind of on that cut, missing the lost bonus in a weird way. Ponalone just couldn't get the rifle. He thought it was at his feet. It was not. He picked up the second op.
There was a second op there. So he picked one
up
and got another. That's unlucky.
That's beyond unlucky, I dare say. It's pistols. The Deagles can do damage. The 5.7 as well could. Ponalone saving for the op. EG, though, if they play their cards right, they should have an 11th. And a relatively solid lead at a critical juncture in this opening map.
This was the pick of Party Astronauts as well, and we did question the pick in the pre-show when discussing the veto. And I have to say, Nate, that my reservations have not been solved. They're still there.
Not been displaced.
No.
Cxzi. He's had a heater map, but he has slowed down considerably on the CT side. He does find the opening this time around, and he will get away as well. On alone. On a T2K. There's lots of damage to 2 thanks to the combined fire. The team damage from Walco, and Viz will capitalize. 2 kills secured. A third, in fact. Wiz drops Chop, and Wiz is alone. 1 versus 4 would be the requirement. He knows where 2 are. Trying to isolate the duel, but the duels are ugly. Viz towards Squeaky Door is the hero in the round, as is Pone alone with the P2K. That is a round stolen away, and again, a tied ball game would upset Party Astronauts victory in round 20.
It was a good opener, but it's really that damage from Pone alone, and then Viz just mopping it up from first. That forces a timeout out of EG as well, a very stingy team when it comes to their timeouts. I think that just shows the importance of this next round. Winner gets to 11, and EG's money is much the same as Party Astronauts was coming into the last. It's a bad spot. Maybe a couple upgrades here. George could armor Tech 9. Same can Wiz. What is the call?
You know
here?
you've really shaken EG if they call attack pause.
Oh, yeah. You most certainly have shaken EG if they call attack. Either that or somebody died early in the round and went to go to the bathroom. This was not the case.
No, I would say EG only use it when they get tilted. And that feels like a tilting round. Definitely a tilting round.
Especially because that other bit of damage was a team dink in the back of the head.
Yeah. It literally lost a round against the P2K.
Yep.
By virtue of the space.
They lost to the P2000 of all guns. Not even a USP. A P2000. Don't get me wrong, I like my P2000. But you shouldn't be losing a gun round to it.
Good nade damage to start things off as well on the Walco, and it kind of just stopped them in their tracks. And the nade damage is even more punishing. Chop, there's a second one delayed, catches Walco, tags George and Junior further. Chop takes the second, not quite the third, but he has support. George drops Chop, but Ben Leet prevents any rifles from being recovered. Drops the bomb as well and prevents any potential shenanigans in this round. This should be a mop-up for Party Astronauts at this stage. Automatic, just a Glock in the yard, back red. And it's another nade. Do the damage. Is the last one with the Tech 9. That's a scary weapon, but it just doesn't connect. A little too fast on the trigger. Viz does him in. 11-10. Party Astronauts 2 away from map victory on their map pick. It's been anything but smooth, but they have at least righted the ship at the latest critical juncture in this map.
They've gotten a late lead. Can they close it out? This is the real test. The last-ditch buy of the evil geniuses. Galil's on 2, AK's on 3. A solid amount of utility. Pone alone, looking to go outside. Throws a flash in. Viz going with his hopper. Tucking in close to Mini. Slipping through the smoke. Automatic tries to jump up. Viz has spotted the head of one. Cxzi removes it from his shoulders. Lightens the load. And Viz will spot out George. But George will win the duel. Takes 60% of his HP to do it. But Cxzi trades it back. Man advantage retained for Party Astronauts here. Cxzi getting a little more action now, as he'd been avoided for the most part the last few rounds, having to go try and get things done in a rotation. Always easier when you're a point of contact to get kills than if you're rotating in. But look how slow and methodical EG are right now. Just walking around outside like it's a picnic in the park. They're going to quickly run out of time here if they do not hurry. There's also a player on the angle they're going to have to get by. That's crisp from Junior. And a much-needed leveler here to bring it to a 3v3. Pone alone's down in control room. They're running in secret.
He heard it. Walco caught. Not expecting an aggressive angle. Pone alone stuck behind the windows. Misses the second shot. Deagle out. Won't find another opportunity. Even footing yet again. Wiz and Junior. 2v2. I think I go back up the ramp.
I would assume so.
Wiz drops down. Wiz dropped down. Forcing the plan at default. Chop and Ben Leet. Both coming from the vent sides. One decon and one towards double door. Somebody spots the first on site, but doesn't get the kill. Chop now a big task ahead of him. 1 versus 2. First one coming in. Ramp, unexpected adjustment from Junior, and that is a kill he will not miss. He's had a quieter map in the opener. He finds some critical kills to get them back into it and to close it, and he also gets an up for his troubles.
Free up, but what a shot from Junior on a Cxzi at Unbreakable. Total only able to get one, and then neither Ben or Chop able to get anything in that retake of B. Tie game again at 11. One thing's for certain, neither team likes to play on the CT side of this map. Neither one has looked relatively solid on the CT side. The T's, the offense, have definitely had the overall advantage, the overall better play. Alone aggressive, though, into lobby. Gets that opener whiz caught in rotation. Cxzi playing around credit cards. Will cash in on one. Tries to get more, but he might just have to cut his losses. He will be cut down instead. The debt collector is knocked on his door. George moving into heaven. Fizz not aware of that possibility yet as George shift walking up. Clearing the angles, and now the A site abandoned in the proper fashion. I like this a lot, and look at Ben's position. He's ready for this potential. It's all going to come down to timing, though. If George goes down the ladder, is Ben watching for it, or is he going back towards ramp? That is the critical factor in this round here. As EG pumped the brakes, Ponalone hears that drop. Walco's trying to bait out the shot. Molotov in on his position. He'll shift around, and he's got backup to help him alive. Look at this backstep from Chop, though. Knife, knife, knife. He's waiting for the second. No, he'll dink.
Ooh.
The animation threw off the second shot. That should have been a double.
It should have been. That was a spooky moment. He will abate any sort of scariness from that round. Finding the final kill. 12-11, Party Astronauts win it. Very timely flank coming in from Chop. But yeah, that dink definitely could have given Junior a way back into it. The way his character shrugged, dodged the second shot. Chop, though, still gets a free one onto the second player outside. 12-11, series point secured in by the team who chose the map, but by a tenuous margin. EG all in on pistols. Desperation. If they get one, they do at least live to see overtime. Party Astronauts, though, a hefty advantage in this final round of regulation.
A very hefty advantage here, up against nothing but pistols. Tech 9's P250s, a minimal utility. George and Walco holding the bulk of that. Junior with one flashbang and a Molotov now. Tossed to him by George, a smoke on whiz. They're going to even out the utility now. But they still have a full complement of rifles to contend with. Still that op in the hands of Ponalone. Cxzi on the A1, AKs on Chop and Ben. Fizz has been great, so is Chop. Cxzi, of course, outstanding. Very slow round here. EG looking for a push, looking to explode. Counter utility thrown out. Chop's alive, but gets domed down, ran down. P250 from Automatic will get the entry as well. Ponalone trying to throw counter utility, but this is the worst gun for a pistol retake. Ben's going to group up with him as Cxzi goes down swinging. Holy moly, the pistols might just bring this to overtime. There's almost no way back into this for the Party Astronauts either. Maybe Ponalone gets a gift here. He's going to be hurt by Automatic. Surely they're tracing around his shoulder. He's somehow not dead. They're going to meet in the smoke. It's going to come down to timing and who gets the drop on the other. Automatic goes in. It's George with two. We're going to overtime here on map number 1.
And there is a realistic possibility where EG win that round. Or not realistic, but there is a possibility of them winning. And of course they do. But the fashion in which they do it makes it all the more surprising. It's a pop in towards A, a classic desperation play for pistols. And it's a play that works flawlessly. All 5 players survive. EG making that one look easy. I don't know why we didn't see a play like that earlier, given how good it looked. But now they have a chance back to even footing. The game is now far from over. It goes to the classic Counter-Strike global offensive scoreline. 16 is the magic number, and EG, off the back of that, using their 3rd tactical timeout. Again, a team stingy on their timeouts, calling one at the start of overtime.
Just goes to show how desperate times call for desperate measures and how EG are feeling the desperation. That last round was the epitome of it, and they are able to survive. Party Astronauts. What is your counter? You have to start overtime on the half where you just struggled immensely. It's your map pick. You had other options available. You go for Nuke. You're on overtime. You've had a massive individual performance from Cxzi. Chop and Viz have also been good. Viz, speak of the devil, opens up with the opener onto Wiz. But it almost feels a bit empty here. Oh, he missed. Walco missed the drop, and Chop cuts down Junior, trying to hit the vent drop. Viz is still alive. He'll spot the gun barrel out of hut. Messy spray, but he's got his second. All up to automatic now. A resounding response from Party Astronauts. As I say that, automatic's about to hit 5. No, he won't. Okay, we will live in reality that is not insanity.
That's nice, I suppose. Solid start there. Chop finding two, struggling to go down the vents. The smokes to guise the crossing can be a double-edged blade. In that case, it very much was for the T's. Again, no worries about investments in overtime. Both teams have the fullest. Ops for Junior and Ponalum. AK surrounding, or rifle surrounding, I should say. Cxzi towards the ramp, going down towards Secret early. He actually hears the push. He knows they're in towards ramp. There are 3, actually 4 here with the op posted further back. Party Astronauts, what's the adjustment? Let Cxzi play down below. Have the op peeking towards J Hall. Cxzi peeking in, spots so many. Does a good amount of damage as well, but not nearly enough. He gets 0 kills. That was a big opportunity. Automatic holding for rotations, and Lobby finds another. Walco a third, capitalizing on Ben Leet, and Junior making his up heard onto Ponalum. Last round was flawless for Party Astronauts. This one's flawless for EG. Automatic finds Viz. And right back to a tied ball game. Boggs, this is a game of inches, not miles. Each team can't take anything for granted.
It feels like each inch requires the effort of a mile. Both teams just throwing everything out on the line to get one round. And then it trades back the other direction. And then it goes back the other way. It's just back and forth, scrappy brawl Counter-Strike. No elegance to it. And there's a gap in that smoke, too. Cxzi can exploit. He's not going to go for it. But he'll peek through the nade now. That's a good idea. Flash goes high. He'll retreat to credit card. I have to say, even when this swaps over, with the momentum EG have gained to finish out this map, or this half, and take it to overtime in general, they have the edge here. And that's a scary proposition looking at Mirage's map, too.
It's a Bastion map for EG. One alone, though. A little bit aggressive with the op. At the midway point of this round, finds an opening onto Wiz. He was lurking in towards Trophy. Good start. Chop now. Keeping in. Find the timing. Only one. George and Junior, though, immediately respond. A trade and a second onto 60 outside yard. Ponalum has rotated around. He's holding for the cross down below. Walco's lurked out A. He's found a free bomb site. One player's in towards Squeaky Door. That's Viz. He's been spotted as well. The spray not connecting. Viz finds Walco. Spam onto Junior as well. Puts him at 2. Ben Leet has rotated around towards Hut to find the kill. Finish what his teammates started. It's just George. He's had a decent map 1, but a 1 versus 3 is required. 15 seconds left. He'll fake the plant. Try to pull someone forward. He will do so successfully, but he's down low. That nade does good damage. Ben Leet forced back. An awkward dance. The op of Ponalum, though, it will not miss. 14-13. Party Astronauts. Again, a tenuous lead, but this one is far from over.
Very far from over, my good friend. It's about as level as it gets. At least for Party Astronauts, are able to get the lead out of the first half of overtime. But that means they still have to go on to the T side, which they haven't touched in 15 rounds and figure out how to make it work there. So, EG, no more timeouts either. That's another thing. They can't talk things over. They can't reset. And they're going to need Junior to step up. He has had a very disappointing performance here on Nuke. Incredibly lackluster.
Especially in the CT side, I've noticed he's been struggling.
Over-flicking a lot.
A lot of over-flicking. His peaks have been pretty good on the T side. He's actually cracked open a couple rounds, but these holds are struggling. There we go. Caster's Curse will connect. Cxzi taken out of the round. The op does not miss this time around. Automatic will drop a nade for his teammate. Minute 10 left in the round. There's still a player in T-spawn lining up smokes for cross, I'm assuming. And then we'll walk into the angle with this op. Ooh, crosses by. Junior doesn't take the shot. Jump up. He wants to hold this angle. He wants to find something. Player baking in. This time around, he will pull the trigger. Shot from Junior. Made the smoke, but the op is already across. I'm not sure how much impact it can have. This is not the ideal angle to hold for a sniper rifle.
No real response from party astronauts, but they found a way to get in behind. But the only problem is they've got no time. That's not even the main issue. The fact is they have to get through 3 players on the site, and they can't even get by 1. Here comes Walco out from Cubby. Bonal on the last one standing. He won't live long either. A clean round from EG to shut down this T side. That's exactly what happens when you haven't touched a side for a while where you had all that momentum. It all fades away, and overtime can become a complete opposite of what it was during regulation. Junior with a double outside as well. Good work from him to set this up for success. And Party Astronauts looking a bit lost again here on Nuke. It seems like every once in a while they have a good round, and then right afterwards they just look out of place. And
There's no momentum
because of it.
It's smart. They can't build that momentum that they can usually rocket off of. Instead, it's building something and having it crumble back down to nothing. They lose that open. They look kind of lost, grasping at straws, just going different directions, not really a coherent idea in mind necessarily until it's too late. Are the astronauts? What's your plan this round? Took the pause. You definitely talked something out. What's the play going to be?
Some outside pressure again from PA. Trying to get some control outside. Maybe find something here. Junior might just oblige a fight. George breaks the vent, drops on down, but he does it silently so they do not know. Chops moving in. It's an inner crunch. They do have 1 player to deal with back silo. That is Wiz, and Ben will do accordingly. Automatic out on top. George goes up, and it's Chop and Cxzi to cut down the pair. Ponolo knows there's still 1 more in heaven. That is Junior. Walco's in the vents for the first time in a while. PA winning some fights and getting a man advantage out of it. Walco still biding his time, though, popping up. Chops on the angle. Bomb's going safe, but Chop around the corner cannot get away from that one. Nade does a little bit of chip damage. Flash is even better. Out goes Junior. It's a 1v1. Cxzi stuck between the hammer and the anvil, and he is flattened. EG map point on the pick of the party astronauts here. And this timeout does not work for PA. They did everything right until the final execution. As that first duel one on to Chop that really kickstarts it here. And then after that, the flashbang is phenomenal.
That was a walk around through and through. He's the reason they won it. That kill on to Chop big. That flash, as you mentioned, was the linchpin, though. You expect a flash, a pop flash from heaven from the Opper for himself, sure. But you not expect a popper coming in from the player over towards vents. Very heads up, very well executed from the IGL of Walco. EG now. Map point on Nuke. If they win this one, they should have a relatively easy go at it on their own map pick as well. That will be Mirage as the second party astronauts. At this point, vying for another bout of OT, and it feels like the fate, or their fate in this tournament rests on this first map.
So much weighs on this round as PA dives down the ramp. Cxzi leads the charge, sprays down Walco. Smoke to single door. George in the middle on the ramp. Spotted, but not removed. He might double up, never mind. Traded out by Potent Alone. Man advantage retained by Party Astronauts. Bomb plan out in the open. It's a classic Astralis plant here. As now Junior, Automatic, and Wiz will go for the retake. Then got a lineup. He might get two, but he only manages one. Chop deals with Wiz down in vents. Automatic 1v3. Very rough retake here for him. He does have a Molotov smoke and flash, but no HP. As we end this one with a Counter-Strike global offensive 15 all. We're going to overtime 2, though, not overtime 1. And boy, this one's just going back and forth. Nate, I did say it would be a bare-knuckle brawl of a series. I didn't know it would be this much of a street fight.
Say, are bare-knuckle brawls also marathons?
They can be.
This is a test of endurance at this stage. Both
and it's
teams
only map
trying,
1, dude.
Yeah. This has been a long first map. Again, ops for both teams. Nothing new there. Buys have kind of been the same for a while at this stage. EG's turn again to start, this time on the CT side. Junior immediately towards Secret. Oh. Seen this play before. Was to exploit Chop. Chop used to cross almost every single round. He's not committing all the way down. George, an opener. Ben Leet, a good trade. The player Mustang, though, we've seen this play coming big from Wiz. He will be checked, and Ben Leet takes him down. The player Heaven is not fair any better. That's Walco. Walked out. Automatic to Junior. One was Secret, one now Mini. Veteran trying to play on the smoke is spotted, tagged. The trade makes it all the more difficult. Flank coming in to add insult to injury. No, Junior actually does chop in. Okay. Still a 2 versus 3, though, with time gone as it is. Does not seem feasible for the likes of BG at this stage.
That's a good molly on the Ben. He's dead. One way or another, it's a 2v2 on the retake. Time is running out. There are kits for both. They have to go on. The smoke is down, and Boneland delivers a critical kill. Junior no scope, and he's not going to do that. He might get a second, but he won't even manage the one. Bomb will explode Viz, but PA win the round. All dead. Full carnage round. But a critical one for the Party Astronauts here. If they can find a 2 out of this half, Nate, maybe they can finish it off on the CT side. But it really has become a test of endurance where the strat books are completely ran through the shredder. Only what individuals can come up with at this point, and right now the individuals of Party Astronauts are winning the day. Of course, it's still very early in overtime 2. In fact, just round 1 in. Round 2 beginning. Junior getting flashed outside, going for the little cheeky angle. Not going to see anything, though. It looks to be a ramp scrim from the Party Astronauts here. Curious call this late into the game, but I do not dislike it. In fact, I do quite like it. I think it's a change of pace, something they've not really done all that much.
Something they haven't done all that much, but should be somewhat expected at this stage, given the fact that no one's outside. Walco's still alone on an island regardless. He's exploited. Ben Leet finds him alone. Molotov over towards Jay. Should mean the B-side can be taken. A very quick ramp scrim from Party Astronauts. Again, it should have been read by EG, but which they were too sluggish to properly counter. 5 versus 4 makes things difficult. George towards Decon doesn't find anything. He's smoked off. It's going to be a scrappy retake, but EG find themselves on the back foot.
Well, Wiz comes out with a 1-for-1. Man advantage still to the Party Astronauts. Potent alone another, but Junior does strike onto Viz. Still time's running out. Broadsides exchanged. Potent alone fighting with the decon player, not Automatic. Junior coming in from double door. Sees nothing. All up to him now on the op. He might just try and save as he is dead broke. He'll fight his way out with one and should be able to escape with his life intact. Potent alone will be dropped and off next round unless he can save behind the orange box. He should be fine. Yep. That box is the most explosion-proof thing in the world. If there's ever a nuclear strike, God forbid, where I'm at, I want that box.
I'm hiding in it, opening it up.
Yep.
17-15 party astronauts securing 2 in a row. Looking to sweep all 3. If they do so, they might finally find a winning recipe for their map pick. Not at a moment too soon. Again, this has been scrappy. It's been back and forth. Party astronauts, though, looking to finally fully wake up and return to form.
If party astronauts sweep the T-half, Nate, you have to assume it's almost over. But can they is the better question. And also, there still is Mirage and potentially Vertigo to finish that one out. Chop's coming through midi. He's been unspotted, unseen, sneaky peeky like Wiz, shut down by Cxzi, who's inching towards the 30 bomb. Fizz sprays down Junior. It's all up to Walco and Automatic. Now they hear the drop onto site. Automatic wins the fight against Fizz. Walco up top has Pone alone. All up to Ben Leet now. He's on site. Spots the gun barrel. There's the first. Knows where Walco is, but Walco wins it. And we're still about as close as it can get going into the second half of OT2. The fourth half of overtime total. Winner is 19 rounds. Party astronauts need 2. EG need 3. 18. All we go to OT3. And boy, oh boy. Would that just be a way to kickstart the first map of this series? It's already crazy to get OT in map 1. It's only going to get more and more wild here. Downs Unjustified's already a quarter of the way into map number 2.
Theoretically, of course. This is a quarter of the way into map 2 if overtime wasn't required.
That is true.
Cxzi again, proactive. He wants to be the opener. Struggled with multi-kills on the CT side, but this push is not going to be respected. There should be one guarantee. Just get out. Get out. Don't stick around. Be happy with your opening. Smart call, Cxzi.
Mm-hmm.
He's stuck around for too long. That's been his major issue on this CT side. He's found a kill and then holds instead of repositioning.
There's another one for Cxzi. That's his 30.
That's the reposition I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you opportunities to find.
This is well done.
It's a good adjustment, but again, Junior's peaks have been quite good on the op.
Chops on the right angle of his has Squeaky. Automatic's not going to expect this flash one to do anything. Never mind, Automatic does expect. That's a great fight. One, he's doubled it up. Junior's trying to come through as well. He's watching for the player back silo. It's a run and gun from Ben and Cxzi, and they grab map point, double map point. The first time that party astronauts have actually seen map point here, Nate. And no, it's not series point. Don't listen to the HUD, folks. We at least have one more map in Mirage, maybe 2 in Vertigo if it does get all the way to the 3rd. But of course, somebody has to win here and now on Nuke. So we'll figure out whether or not that will be one of these 2 teams now or time 3 to decide that. Still a great peak from Automatic there to win that fight, and then the last 2 closing it out. Get a last-ditch buy from EG. They've done it before. They can do it again. Pone alone, though, going to get pressured out towards a ramp. He sees nothing, 5-7 out, runs it down, but he gets shot down by Viz. The AK headshot to give a man advantage over to EG, trying to stay alive with everything they've got. Viz will blow open the single door. Spray away on the ramp. He's got one. Good trade by Walco. He's had a relatively quiet game this time. In fact, Automatic having himself a moment with George not too far behind. With man advantage, though, EG can settle down a little bit more. and wait for the rotation to the party astronauts in here. Cxzi, though, if he wins the fight against Walco, can do something. He hits mouse wheel jump, and that kills him. That might just torpedo the round as Chop has fallen. Ben, what can he do?
Maybe something. Spotted the first, doesn't quite get the kill. That doesn't want to stick to the duel against the op. Good nade. The 1 versus 4 with smokes guys in both entrances seems impossible. He grabs the op. At least get something out of the round, I suppose. EG, though, find a way to stay alive. 17-18. One away from yet another set of overtime. Will go off without a hitch. Ben Leet, does he find an exit over towards Secret? Might. Automatically racing forward is spotted. Not found. Ben Leet, in fact, it goes down to the bomb down below Marshmallow. That is the op. Drop, no exit secured. One more chance to close it out in overtime number 2. If they can't do so, we go to big OT number 3 for map number 1.
There's still Mirage and Vertigo. It's map number 1 here between EG and Party Astronauts. Neither team wanting to win the map. They're both enjoying Nuke. And, you know, I like Nuke, but I don't think I want 3 overtimes worth of it. Bone Alone has started it off nicely with that one, and half damage into automatic. Biz drops Wiz. George trades it back. We're starting to open up here in round number, whatever this is. I'm not going to do the math, but it looks like EG might be falling to the wayside finally.
Round number 36.
Thank you.
101 finds George. The last life is Walco. Full HP, something. IGL, the one you want in the clutch, sure. But a 1 versus 4 makes things seem too far gone. The bomb is on site. Walco's hoping for someone to press for information. Of course, no one is. They're all holding the bomb. The other one pressing is Ben Leet out in the yard. Just cutting off that avenue for a flank. 50 seconds left. Good amount of time for Walco to work with, but again, no bomb. It's not even close to him. He needs to choose a direction to go and stick with it. It appears heaven's going to be the name of the game. 40 seconds now. It's becoming a factor. Party Astronauts might have found a way to cinch their map pick again. A map we wouldn't expect them to choose given the recent downturn of EG on Ancient. It's what they elect to go for. Looks like they will at least get by. 20 seconds left now. Walco inching forward towards heaven. 15. Peeking in, finally spots 1. Once more, though. He needs more, and he won't find it. Cxzi puts him to bed, and we do at last have this map put to bed as well. 19-17 in favor of Party Astronauts.
That was a back and forth map where neither team really wanted to salt it away. It came down to some good individual efforts from some players. Automatic